First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. And I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from Ford Field. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there. And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On play action, Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Azeez Ojulari. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They're going to go play action here with Rippon. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott off play action. They'll roll him out right. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield. Mission accomplished. Points on the board.
This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Justin Madubuike. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going deep for Brown. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Play action now, Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want...
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Below Nichols. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Off play action, it's Rippon. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After 1st and 2nd down, went backwards. It's 3rd and very low. Now Prescott. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ambry Thomas. And the Lions will take over possession here up at the 44. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Lorenzo Carter gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 20. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. On play action, now Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A big play there on the catch and run. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Rippon. This one swung out here to Jones. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Here's Prescott. That's complete to John Ross. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
That's caught out wide by Cooks. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
You gotta love it, baby.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. John Ross. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Lions, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Afadi Adenabo. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
57's the mark. 57's the mark. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Everybody, Mike, 57.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Going back to Lander. This time he's got him complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0.
17. Lions, nothing.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive as they take over with just 17 seconds left before the break. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And that is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
18, Mike, 18. Pick me up. They want 50. 18's the mic. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Kevin King with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, Coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big play here for Dallas.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24.
Lions, nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after them now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch 18. 18's the mark.
On the run, this is Hunt. Finding some room at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch. Hey, take 26. These babies cry all the way back.
Rodgers now to throw. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And some room to run now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. And in for the Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 28 yards. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Well, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line.
Cowboys 24, Lions 6.
I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Prescott. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
To the air again, Prescott. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
Makes the score Cowboys 31, Lions 6.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Oh, Mooney, what a catch. And out across midfield down to the 45. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Cowboys' 46-yard line.
Watch 18.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Rodgers going to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thomas. And the Lions are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kareem Hunt taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. This is caught out in the right flat.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward is just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now a throw here to his running back. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he is going to have a Lions first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
That's a 39-yard line.
Rodgers to throw once more. That's complete to Mooney. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a
touchdown. Ian Thomas, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Lions are right back in this football game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the 4th.
No, not at all. And they're trying to get something going after one there. But you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
On play action, Prescott. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I know we spent a lot of time talking about how the defensive backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott eluding the pressure right. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Vita Vea picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Out to his left. Going for it all. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the two-point try. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. Flush to his right. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game, and we can kind of do what we want.
Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Play action now. Prescott. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Brandon Cooks. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. So here now is Prescott as his guys will go for the two-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. Flushed out right. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Rodgers.
He'll get this off to Swift.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go.
Touchdown! Brandon Cooks. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. A try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
24. Lions 24.
And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Cowboys force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Well, Prescott here to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So this looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And partner, you know NFL coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic with the way this season has started out.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more.
Lions 24.
Oh, and the Cowboys recovered it. Yes, Cowboy football. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
Takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. First down, Prescott. Flush to his right. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's brought down.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he's taken down inside the 30. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Dallas, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.